Okay, so in one verse of the Bible, it tells us the fear of the Lord is the beginning of all knowledge. And then in another verse, it says, for God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So which one is it? There's this huge contradiction. The beginning of the knowledge is the fear of the Lord, and God has not given us a spirit of fear. So which one is it? Well, by the end of this video, you will know exactly what it means to fear the Lord and why it is actually the beginning of all knowledge, and it's not just nonsense written in a book. Because a lot of people come to this conclusion that since we're supposed to fear the Lord, they don't want anything to do with it. Why should we fear an all-loving, benevolent God? I used to think that as well. By the end of this video, it will make sense though. So let's make sense of this contradiction. In Proverbs 1:7, it says, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of all knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, it says, for God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. Okay, so the only way we can understand this is if we break down what the word fear means in Hebrew before it was translated to English. So we have to use comparison here. So we have to compare the word fear as it's used in Proverbs chapter 1, verse 7 to another verse in the Bible where the word fear was used, which is Job chapter 4, verse 14. This says, fear came upon me and trembling, which made all my bones to shake. Now, you may be surprised to find out that when you translate the word fear into the Hebrew language as it's used in Proverbs 1:7 and as it's used in Job 4:14, you get two completely different words. In Proverbs, the word fear is translated to yirah. In Job, the word fear is translated to pashad. These words have two completely different meanings. In Proverbs, it means yirah, which means reverence and awe. In Job, pashad, which means sudden alarm, dread, and terror. Now, there's quite a difference between being in reverence and awe of God than being in a state of sudden alarm, dread, or terror. Let's make it make sense here. I'm going to read you this insert from a website. I'll leave the source below so you can check it on your own time. And this comes from a rabbi. And this is how we get to understand what the meaning of the word yirah is, how we come to the conclusion that it means reverence and awe. It says, we conclude that the Hebrew word yirah teaches that the fear of the Lord does not imply an emotion in anticipation of some danger or threat, or fear for being punished. On the contrary, as Rabbi Samson Raphael Hirsch explains, yirah is related to another Hebrew word, kara, which means to encounter, happen, meet. Therefore, yirat Yehovah, or fear God, means that a person should have the experience of being in the presence of God in awe. And this is the proper translation of yirah, awe, from which the English word awesome or awesomeness come, an inspiring reverence, admiration, or wonder that emanate from the Creator. The closest translation of the Hebrew word yirah in English would be a compound word of reverence and awe, i.e., awe in reverence. So let me give you an example. Imagine you're standing next to a waterfall, like Niagara Falls. I've been there before, and this kind of happened to me. The force of the waterfall, the beauty of the waterfall, it put me in a state of awe. I was just like, wow, this is incredible. You could see the rainbows in the mist of the water. You could feel the mist on your skin. You could feel the force and the vibration of the crashing of the water. You're just in awe. This is how we have to be towards God. This is the attitude that we have to be towards our Creator. In awe of the magnificence of His creation. You're a piece of His creation. I'm a piece of His creation. Everything is a piece of His creation. And if we're being honest, it's beyond our mental comprehension to understand the intricacy and the beauty and the magnificence and the awesomeness of His creation. So when we approach His creation in a state of awe, it is the beginning of all knowledge. Guess what? Fools despise wisdom and instruction. And fools are usually people who have not taken the time to gain knowledge and to understand what this stuff means. So I'll pat you on the back for deciding to do some research and try to understand what this means on a deeper level, instead of just taking it on the surface and say, oh, we're supposed to fear God. Why should I fear an all-loving God? No. Now you know what it means. You can share it with your friends. You can share this video with people that you know and love that might also have the same questions as you. And yeah, that's all for this video. It was just a short one. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I help men come closer to God. A lot of my stuff can also relate to women, but I do talk a lot about like sexual transmutation, and that's another word for how you can get closer to God by conserving your energy or semen retention. And I also talk about hidden mysteries of the Bible, and I break them down to help you understand the spiritual meaning behind these stories and the significance that it can have in your life. So yeah, that's all for this one. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button, leave a comment below. Let me know if this resonated with you, and I'll see you in the next video. Much peace and love.